toboggan?
I thought you were going to say tabata.
We're
live.
It feels like we're in a toboggan. Like Cool Runnings.
That's a
bobsled. We're in a bobsled. Are we in a bobsled?
Did you call it a toboggan?
A toboggan.
Yeah, no.
I think a toboggan is not the official way to call. What are you doing?
Well, remember, we're going to try.
Oh, okay. Here. All right. Let's see.
We're going to try to go live on both pages.
Oh, wait. That's not you.
No, don't accept that person.
That's not you.
I just requested.
All right. Hold on.
It is really weird watching me delayed here.
We're going to see if we can
go
live with Heidi Powell.
Tell me if there's...
Echo. Echo. All right. Let's see. This is going to be interesting because then there's going to be 2 pictures of us on each.
Yeah.
Ah! We are idiots.
Turn that down.
Turn this down?
Yeah, turn your volume down. Okay, now tell us.
There's still an echo.
Okay, we're going to turn this off.
There's so many people here.
Wait,
I mean, look, I can see your face looking there, and I can see your face looking here.
Oh, wow, that was a really bad angle. I was just giving everybody.
Is
it echoey?
It's very echoey.
Echo.
Echo. Charlie. Delta. Yeah, you can't go any lower. You're gonna hold it. You're gonna hold it over here.
No.
Are we still in our bobsled? This feels like we're in a bobsled.
Is it echoey still?
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme.
Look out, world! It's bobsled time.
Look out, world! It's bobsled time.
Okay,
yeah, one of them has to be switched off. Okay, goodbye. Oh, I mean,
Heidi, this was fun while it lasted.
We tried.
We did.
We're trying new things with technology, people.
We're trying new things in all aspects of our life.
You know what? Everything that we're trying.
It's the year of yes.
It's the year of yes. We just keep on trying new things. Sometimes it works. A lot of times, it does not work.
Did it? Okay, good.
Oh, you have to go in another room or you have to mute.
He won't let me go in another room. He wants me on him all the time.
I think I called you a monkey spider this morning.
And I said it's a spider monkey.
Spider monkey.
Because I like to hang on him.
You are a spider monkey. And I'm here for it. Good morning. It's Wednesday. We got to say goodbye to the children today. They're off to school. We played, at least I played the game. How many lights did the kids leave on before they go to Rachel's house? And the over-under is 12 lights every single time. Guess how many lights were left on?
12?
Over.
14. Over.
13. Over. 13 lights were left on.
I knew that because
these kids think that I am a shareholder in the old electric company, and I am not.
We should buy stock.
Are you a model? What is going on? You look like you have a job interview today.
I have makeup on right now.
Do you have a job interview today?
With you.
Goodness.
You hired
great.
me?
Yeah, no, you're already hired. You're already hired. Goodness gracious.
Oh.
Yeah.
They miss Rachel.
I don't blame you.
Rachel's awesome.
Rachel is awesome. Yeah.
We get to see her soon.
Yeah, we do. The kiddos are going to get to see her for a week. We're going to have week on, week off for the next few weeks.
I think you got that joke from your pops. Sorry.
It is a dad joke. Here's the thing. I had a dad and a mom, for that matter, that basically reminded us of the cost of every utility in our house every single day.
Did they?
Literally every single day. So, if the water was left on for 3 seconds, it was like, do you know how much water costs? Like, no, I'm 9. I don't have any concept. I have no concept.
Even if they gave you a dollar amount, you don't know what it means.
I have no idea. Ford got 2 teeth removed yesterday.
Oh.
This is crazy. And also, if you have a gag reflex for teeth, sorry.
They're in here. Are we actually going to show them? But if you look at the bottom of the tooth.
What is this Dracula tooth? What is this?
I can't even believe you're touching that right now. Oh no.
Kidding.
No. Do you know what Ford was doing yesterday? He has 2 teeth in here. He was holding on to both of them. And he was going, chomp, 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 chomp.
It's the worst. It's the worst. But anyway, so it's, he's got like gauze in his teeth, and Heidi's like, oh, this is really great news because now you have 2 teeth for the tooth fairy. And he has a little Post-it note, and he's like, writing notes. And his note was, oh, I can't say it out loud in case you're with kids, but like he
Oh,
was
yeah.
disputing
Reality,
what had just been
yeah.
suggested.
Yeah.
And it was like,
And I said, if you don't believe, you don't receive.
if you don't believe, you don't receive, man. You got to believe it to receive
Yeah.
it.
Like,
And so he was like, okay, I believe. And then as it turns out, when you're like not able to like get, he has sports, so he wasn't able to go to sports. Like if you're not able to go to sports, you're not able to do like what you normally do, you get to sit and play Fortnite instead of going to school, which is amazing. And so V-Bucks is now the thing that the Tooth Fairy is delivering, which is like these little like dollars that you spend inside of these games to let them buy skins, which are uniforms for characters that they are playing with.
Did he get V-Bucks?
He got V-Bucks.
Wow.
And then had the nerve this morning to walk in and say, there was nothing under my pillow. And I was like, I'm sorry.
But
you
did
actually
it get delivered directly to his account? Is that, or
yeah.
did it, you did, I mean,
oh no, I put it directly in the old Tooth
Dwayne
Fairy.
Johnson didn't go put it under his pillow?
No, straight into the old account. This was like a direct delivery. Direct delivery. Someone was just saying like you should see your kids, and I want to just suggest, you know, to anyone who wonders. Times, as it turns out in divorce, and this is a thing I will admit I did not know. When you get divorced, you don't actually get the opportunity to be with your kids every single day, 100% of the time. She also has shared custody. I also have shared custody. So,
and by shared, it is exactly 50-50.
50-50.
So
half the time.
In 1 week I have my kids, the next week I don't.
I know.
Here's the thing.
It's such a weird thing.
We don't do many lives when you. I'm only on your lives when I don't have kids most of the time,
right?
When we're in Arizona, when I'm there with my kids, it is so crazy chaotic because 4 kids. I have 2 in high school, 2 in elementary, 2 going to one side of town, 2 going to the other. All of them are in daily sports.
Everyone.
I don't post as much about my life because I'm actually in my life when I'm in my life.
No. Okay, so we're having, there was a lot of things that a lot of questions people have had about the challenge. Do you want to talk about the challenge for 2 seconds before I talk about my book for a second?
Hold on.
What?
I know you, but Dave's challenge is the reason we have our daughter.
Oh.
Are we talking about the 30-day sex challenge from back in the day?
Yeah.
You know what's interesting?
Sexy September, I believe, is what it was called.
Oh, really? So,
yes.
You know, Chris and I talked about that on The Doctors at one point.
You told me that. Yeah.
We had no concept of what was happening with September.
You also knew that there was a trick to being consistent over time.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
all right. So there is a thing that we are doing each week inside of this community. It's called 90 Days of Courage. Every week we're going to talk about one topic out of this book. This is my next book. It's called Built Through Courage. Comes out October 26th.
It's a great book.
It's a great book.
I read more of this book than I did the last book.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you.
I saw someone ask about that.
But this week we are talking about beliefs. As in, I put up a post yesterday, if you saw it. You have been programmed to believe that you can do certain things, that you ought to believe a certain way or act a certain way or show up a certain way because of the programming that existed at the beginning of your life. And if you aren't considerate of where those beliefs came from, if those beliefs actually have credibility, then you will just continue to live, often in a way that denies your truth at the expense of you being fully and totally fulfilled and you being super connected to purpose. So I am going to, real quick, I'm going to read an excerpt out of this book. While I read, Heidi, would you write on the comment section here, MrDaveHollis.com/book. Let these people know where they can grab the book, but also where, if they were to pre-order the book, they would immediately have access to coaching, because we do coaching every single week. And tonight we're doing coaching about beliefs. All right. So there's a chapter in the book called I Am Not Who You Say I Am.
Did I do that right?
You did that right. Go ahead and hit post. And then go ahead and pin that baby right to the old top so that people know what the address is. Let's see if it works. Let's see. Okay, let go. And then hit pin.
Okay.
Boom. All right.
We got it. Story time.
Story time with old Uncle Dave. Here we go. So, I am not who you say I am. In this work surrounding identity that we're doing, we have to become detectives of sorts, sifting through our limiting beliefs in ourselves about who we're supposed to be and figuring out where those beliefs have come from. Only then can we put them behind us. Often, when we're feeling frustrated and unfulfilled, the source of our discontent can be traced back to the gap that exists between who we are at our core and how we feel like we have to show up to get affirmation from outside sources.
We just talked about that the other day.
It's exhausting. Okay, so pause there for a second. So
not even thinking about your book.
Not even thinking about the book. This was a conversation that we had while we were sitting on a bench at Six Flags. Well, I was having a weird down Monday. I was feeling down because I was unhappy with the way it felt like I was trading off who I actually am, who I know myself to be, to try and keep people happy. People on the internet happy, people in my community happy, people happy. And that attempt to keep other people happy was happening at the expense of who I actually am. And that dissonance, not only is it exhausting, but it is also something that makes me feel terrible about myself.
It was robbing
when I'm by myself. It was robbing me of joy.
Like you were halting who you actually wanted to be and who you're meant to be.
Yep.
In an attempt to not have somebody not like you, you know? But
I know.
Like you don't like dark chocolate raspberry. It doesn't mean it's not good. It just means you don't like it.
It doesn't mean that it's not good. Yeah. That is true. All right. In order to get to the bottom of it, let's start by digging down into the sources of who we think we're supposed to be. Call them rules, norms, systems, agreements, or anything else from childhood. Each of us is indoctrinated in a set of guiding principles that tell us how to be, sometimes, oftentimes, at the expense of who we are meant to be. The challenge comes in doing the work to break free from the stories that keep us in our own way and the programming that was imposed on us that contradicts our purpose, right? So if you can identify what of the things you were taught, this is how you're supposed to be, this is how you ought to be, any of those things that you were taught that end up being inhibitors for you actually unlocking your purpose or actualizing your potential, you have to change the way that you've given weight to those beliefs. We're all influenced by voices of authority in our lives. Parents, teachers, friends, religious leaders. We're also shaped by broader societal forces that attempt to define what success looks like. What does it mean to be a good mom, a real man, a productive member of society? If we can recognize that those forces don't have the final say, we can begin to release ourselves from those roles and claim a new identity, an identity that is actually true to who we were meant to be, right? So if you can actually see, oh, this is the reason why I think that I'm not good enough, or I have to play small, or I'm not allowed to do X or Y, then maybe I can free myself from this. In freeing myself from it, might I now stand in my truth, honor the intention of a creator who put me here for a reason, and in honoring that intention, actually live into purpose and feel fantastic, more fulfilled, pour more light into other people. This can be tricky. Oh, Dave, it's tricky, you son of a gun. Because there is an underlying reward-punishment cycle in those beliefs. When we conform to our assigned roles, we're often showered with praise, but when we step out of line, we may find ourselves subjected to harsh criticism and judgment. So we have to ask, if you have a notepad, write this question down. What good is praise if the approval keeps us from being our true selves and living with our calling? How fulfilled can you ever really be if praise comes with a condition to deny who you really are? How in the world could you possibly even enjoy the praise if you're doing it by wearing a mask or being inauthentic to who you actually are? It's crazy. And so the headline ends up being, you have to find a way to release yourself from the stories that have historically been playing in the background of your subconscious. And in doing so, get back to your truth, get connected to what it is that's actually going to help you become every day one step closer to the reason why you're on this planet. And so if you can do it, fantastic. If you can't, trust me, you will live forever and ever in pain, in this anguish of being in the in-between. When you think about where you were taught how you ought to be, are there things that you still have to kind of push back against when it comes to what you can or can't do, or what women should or shouldn't do, or how you ought to be?
Well, I do want to say, by the way, you were really good at scrolling and maintaining thought and blocking people. Like that was really,
well, I mean,
someone was not being
nice, and I had to multitask, and my ability to continue
I
to
couldn't even
speak.
listen and watch at the same time. I was just like, how is he doing this? You know, well, this is something we talk about a lot, and it's something that I feel like I say a lot. I feel it, but I also feel like I say it because it's something I learned later on in life. Like, what good is it having other people praise you, which is essentially making them happy with you? What good is it making somebody else happy with you when you are not happy with yourself? And it is so hard. Like, you and I talk about it a lot. It is so hard to know that a choice that I'm making that is in line with my calling and my purpose might upset somebody else. And it might even upset somebody else that I love, right? Like someone that I know loves me, but at the end of the day, I am the only one who has to walk in my shoes. I am the only one who has to live with the consequences and the results of the decisions that I make. They don't. They can watch and they can be mad or they can judge or they can have an opinion. But at the end of the day, like I am the one that that is living inside of my body. I am the spirit. I am the soul with the mind, heart, brain, all of these things. That is me. So yeah, I was actually raised in a very religious culture. And I think in religion, I think it's great, but also it was very like patriarchal. Right? And I was a very good girl, very, very, very good girl. I did everything my dad said, a lot out of fear of what would happen if I did not. But because of that, like I was trained in a way to make I was a pleaser, and I struggle today with being a people pleaser. And I feel like if I upset somebody, I have to remind myself, it's okay. Like it is okay if I upset somebody now. It wasn't when I was little and I was trying to be a good girl, do what I say. And I was a great girl and I was praised for it and I was given opportunity for it. And I think even today we are rewarded and given opportunity for doing what people say, even if it is misaligned to who we are. So there is a scary leap, right? From going from what you believe you're supposed to do or what makes everybody happy to what is meant for you. But in that leap, like taking that jump, it's through courage.
It takes courage. It does take courage. Well, here's the crazy thing, because I also was raised inside of like very rules oriented, regimented kind of upbringing. And the thing that's hardest in the leap is trusting that my connection to God or that my intuition or knowing actually is wiser, or that there is more truth in the conversation I might have with God than in something that might have happened in my childhood inside of the capital C church, right? Like taking nothing away from church, the bottom line ends up being that my connection to God was facilitated sometimes inside of that building, but every single thing that happened in that building didn't necessarily represent the truth that I've now come to experience because of the conversation that I have in regular frequency. And so I think it's just like, man, is there the possibility that there could be some good, but also some bad that happened with that parent, with that structure, with that system, with that church, whatever it might be, that then you get to also say, like, I can honor what was, and I can also accept that there is something different here. I was raised very much in an achiever's kind of mentality, right? Like, so if I was interested in being loved, then the more that I was able to achieve, the more I felt like I was worthy or lovable. And so it warped a little bit of how I ended up thinking about producing and hustle and achievement as a requirement for me to be lovable, which then also has this crazy inverse relationship that when I need rest or I'm supposed to slow down, there's guilt. It's an impossible thing for me to not feel like I have to always be producing. And so, like, challenging the narrative that I have from childhood that if I were to achieve these things or check these boxes, then and only then will I be worthy or enough. That's crazy. And I know when I say it out loud, it's crazy. And yet there's still some stuff that runs in my unconscious that I'm not even, like I say, I'm unconscious of it. And yet, because of it just having existed forever, it's part of what plays as that guilt track shows up when I'm like, I'm just going to sit here and relax for this day.
Yeah, I agree. And you and I both have talked about that. It's hard for me to not be busy because of how I was raised or what I believed as I was raised.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also love, I think you had kind of said this, like, I think it's important to honor, though, what you were and how you were. And if you're in that space now, like, honor it and be grateful for it, because there are so many, like you said, there's so much good that has been created in the both of us as a result of us having been
100%,
right?
100%.
To now where we appreciate it in a way that we might not have otherwise. Does that make sense? And then also I saw someone say something about, it's sad, like love should be unconditional. I think super important to point out, like, while I thought I was only lovable by my parents if I did XYZ, the reality is they probably did love me unconditionally.
Totally agree.
But we all have stories in our head about, I'm not lovable if I don't do this, right?
I completely agree with this.
Yeah.
I myself was the one that ascribed conditionality to the love. There was never any condition, but that was just the way that I processed it. It took a lot of conversation and therapy to realize, oh, wait, it wasn't my mom, it was me. And it was the way that I was wired as a 3 on the Enneagram or whatever that had me seeing it that way. All right, so I finished this conversation. I'm gonna jump down a couple of paragraphs, but I just want to tell you there's 3 things that I suggest that any of us need to do if we're gonna try and change these relationships. The first, take inventory of the beliefs that you have that are rooted in fear. That keep you docked in your safe harbor, that make you question your worthiness of reaching for the life you deserve. As much as these may have existed from the time we were children, freedom will come in pulling them apart and leaving them behind. So first, you just have to know, what are these beliefs that I actually am believing that are rooted in fear, that if I were to shine a light on them may allow me to get free from them. 2, find a way to release yourself from the power that they hold, both by challenging the credibility of the source and the relevance of the rule in your life today. Does the source of this belief have credibility generally, right? Like if you were taught something, is that a credible teacher? Do they actually have credibility? Do they, if they do have credibility, have specific credibility for the circumstances that you are specifically going through? Does the belief, which may have been born and made sense in 1975, while you were growing up in your parents' house in an era governed by different cultural norms, still have relevance in the world that you live in today? Is it relevant to your personal values? So number 2, is there credibility in the author of the belief? Do they have specific credibility on the topic? Is it relevant in your life today in a way that it may have been relevant before, but does not today have relevance? And number 3, make peace with what was. This is the point that you just made. You will not reap the benefits of this freedom if you keep yourself anchored with shame for having believed what you did, or anger toward those who imposed those limitations on you. Give yourself some grace, and with a spirit of forgiveness for the people and structures that held you back, move forward in freedom.
Amen.
Can I get an amen on a Wednesday?
Good.
Goodness gracious.
I saw someone ask if I was actually going to read your book. 100%.
100%.
And I have read a lot of it as he was writing it.
All right, here it is. It's called Built Through Courage.
It's good,
it comes out October 26th. It is singularly the greatest accomplishment of my career. I cannot wait for you to read it. If you read the book, you immediately get a $200 course called Finding Your Why. It's a 4-part course. It comes with a PDF workbook for free. Get it immediately. You get a resilience and mindset course. It's a $100 course for free immediately. And you also immediately get jumped into a community of more than 6,000 human beings that are getting together on the regular to encourage each other, keep each other accountable, and show up once a week for coaching. Tonight. Oh, I am doing coaching about beliefs. Tonight. Oh, yeah, we're doing coaching tonight on beliefs. So we're going to spend an entire 90 minutes diving into this conversation around beliefs. I'm going to be answering questions that are submitted by you, the community, and we're going to have fun with a bunch of like-minded people that are reaching for a better version of themselves. I got to go be on a podcast. You have something that you have to also do. I don't remember what that is.
I got to get ready. That's what I have to do.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Look out, people.
It's bobsled time.
It's bobsled time. I hope you're having a great Wednesday. If you're in the coaching community, come on down. I will see you tonight at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time out of Arizona, where we're going to be, 7:30 p.m. Central time. Be there or be square. If you have purchased this book, no matter where you have bought it from, go to mrdavehollis.com/book. You drop in your information. You immediately get yourself an email with access to all the goodies, the 2 courses, the invite for the page where you have coaching. We are in the 6th week of coaching, which means if you wanted to go in today, you could watch all 5 previous coachings that have existed already. It's a big deal on a Wednesday or any day of the week. So anyway, I'm excited to see you all tonight, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for hanging out.